Microphone is on? Okay, now? Yeah, better. All right, good evening, everyone, I shall say. It's getting late, only one more talk, in fact, two more, because I'm sharing this with my colleague Michela, who will take the stage in a few minutes. We have been supported by our colleague Annabelle, who unfortunately cannot be with us today. We're going to talk about synergies between the EQC function and the user support. You have already heard earlier this morning about our EQC activities, quality control, quality assurance, etc. But we also look at EQC in a broader sense, so we deal with quality improvement, improvement of the service, so evolution of the service basically, and we do this by obviously looking at the user requirements. This slide is showing you kind of the life cycle of a requirement, so we have different stages in the process, as we heard earlier from colleagues. So it starts obviously with the collection and the gathering of the requirements, for example, via the SISs, as Chiara had explained, but also, for example, via training activities that Chris was talking about. So we have very different channels and sources. One important source is also our help desk, so the daily user interactions, and we learn a lot about the needs of the users, and we capture them, we categorize them, and we have, thanks to a contract over the last years, an operational database now where we have stored all these requirements, and we have other activities going on that try to get some intelligence out of this, so to analyze these requirements and to recommend or to develop actionable recommendations. And at the end of the day, we try wherever we can to implement those. Just to give you an idea about the diversity of those requirements, so they usually go beyond, let's say, the GCOS type requirements, so they are quite diverse. Obviously, a lot of these requirements are relating to data, so users are asking for new variables, for new indicators, etc., changes to existing data, but they also have requirements regarding guidance, documentation, usability, visualization, metadata, new tools, so whatever you can imagine. And as I mentioned, we have contractors in the past who are analyzing those requirements, they cluster them, and they deliver valuable reports to us as C3S. In the past, this has been grouped into different thematic topics, or data sets, toolbox, infrastructure, and the SISs. And these recommendations are being taken on board internally. We discuss them. And we have kind of an internal procedure which is not visible at all to the broader public. So that's all behind the scenes going on. So this is also very close collaboration with our user support team, who has established this system. We are using Jira for this. So we basically look at all the recommendations. We put them in the system. We have a lot of internal people looking at this, technical officers involved, and we have a board that makes decisions on whether we should implement these requirements, whether they are relevant, feasible, critical, etc. And we try to implement these tasks wherever possible. This is a process which is internal, but of course there are requirements which we cannot do everything. We want to expose these. There are communities we can target, research agendas, etc. In the next phase, we are trying to further, expose those needs and better communicate these needs. Just to give you an idea about what we have been doing internally, we have implemented so far over 100 of those recommendations. Recommendations usually cover quite a lot of requirements. So with one recommendation, we can satisfy quite a few users. And this has been done in the past. I just give you an example of a couple of popular requirements. So one recommendation, for example, the first one, that users have needs for specific regions. They're interested in a country or in a specific time, a specific month, specific year, etc. And this is basically now possible with the catalog, with the toolbox, etc. Users are asking for data in NetCDF format. Lots of data is already provided in NetCDF. There are converters in development, etc. The third bullet, reanalysis data for years all the way back to 1950. This is obviously has been a very popular request, and with the ERA 5 back extension, we have been able to cover this as well. The fourth one is the possibility to compare data sets across all data types. So this is something in the next phase certainly will be much more feasible with the new infrastructure. Users are asking for more satellite data. I think Joaquin has already talked about this, that we are increasing the portfolio of the satellite ECVs. Another point around the toolbox, lots of requirements in terms of performance, compatibility. Users want to use external data sources, combine with other data, calculate their own indices, etc. And with the current toolbox, and even more with the next generation of the toolbox, those users will be certainly satisfied. Last point, you can also imagine that we receive a lot of requests for specific sector-relevant indicators, in particular through the SISs. Yeah, this is just a very, glimpse of what we're dealing with. Obviously, it's going on and on and on, and there are more specific requirements. But this is just to give you an idea. And with this, I think I hand over to my colleague, Michela, please.
Thank you, Andre. I'm Michela from User Support, and I'm going to give you a brief presentation of the aspect that we use to give support to user in C3S. This is the C3S user support journey that we implemented to promote user self-help and to guide user through the information that they are looking for. It's composed of first step. And the first step is the virtual assistant or knowledge duck that you can find on the right bottom corner of the CDS. And the second step is the documentation center that is composed of the C3S knowledge base, that is quality control information repository of topics that are critical for the usage of the C3S data. And the second part of the documentation center is the C3S quality assurance report guide, where we explain a little bit the process, how they produce the reports, and where they can find them. The third step of the user journey is the C3S forum. That is the platform where users can help each other and they can build a community. And the last step is the NWF support portal. And this is where users can raise tickets and they can have directly support from our team. And the user support journey is not only to promote self-help, but is the way where we collect the user requirement in user support, and the way we share this user requirement with the EQC team. So as I said, the first step is the virtual assistant, and during August of this year, we have released an update version of the virtual assistant on the CDS, and we have added some features that are very important. Like the first one is the feedback features that allow us to collect the user requirements and also to monitoring the performance of the virtual assistant on the CDS. The other important feature that we add is the feature that allow users to directly open the Jira ticket from the virtual assistant, so that they can have support from the team directly. The other important feature that we add is a new improved search capabilities through the CDS dataset, because this feature allows users to better filter the search, and this is going to help them to find the information easier. And the last feature that we add to the virtual assistant is this guided flow here, that they can guide the less expert user to all the information and content, not only of the CDS, but also of C3S products. And these are all the sources that we use to give answer to the user when they're using the virtual assistant. As we said, the second step of the user journey is the documentation center, and one part of the documentation center is the C3S knowledge base. The C3S knowledge base during this year has become the reference point for information for the users. And for lesson learned from COP1 and user feedback, we are always evolving the knowledge base, and we are now in the process to convert all the CDS documentation datasets from the PDF that are available from the documentation tab of the CDS directly into knowledge base article in HTML format, so that the knowledge base is becoming the single reference point of all the information regarding CDS dataset and all the C3S products. And moreover, we have had a new streamlined process for data providers to submit the approved documentation through Confluence. That is the platform where that the C3S knowledge base is based on. And this is going to help and have a quick turnaround for control update of the live documentation. Here you can see we are halfway to the process, so convert the documentation. As you can see the percentage for each type of data that we have in the CDS. So what is the message from us? It's our view is that the recipe for the successful evolution of the C3S products is to take the focus on users and the operational leisure of C3S and combine using collaboration between the user support, the EQC team, and the data production team, because synergy between these teams is the key for our success. Thank you for your attention.